What's going on, guys? John Alder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to look at Sprite Collision with Pygame and Python. Alright guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to look at Sprite Collision with Pygame. But before we get started, if you like this video, want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com, where I have dozens of courses with thousands of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube50 to get 50% off lifetime membership. That's all my courses, videos, and books for a one-time fee, which is insanely cheap. Okay, like I said, in this video, we want to look at Sprite Collision. So here we've got a bunch of food things dropping from the ceiling and Aspen kind of flying around and grabbing them. And then when we close this, it shows we started out with 8, then went to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. There was 3 left at the end we didn't get. And that's what we're going to look at in this video. So let's head over to our code using the Sublime Text Editor and the Git Bash terminal as always. And as always, you can find a link to the code in the pinned comment section below, as well as a link to the playlist with all the other videos in this Pygame series. So check that out if you haven't so far. So I've got a file, it's called aspen_collide.py, and this is the exact code that we had in the last video when we set up this class-based system with sprites. I'm going to come around here and I'm going to change this a little bit. We're going to call this food. And instead of loading Aspen2, we're going to load food2. And if you don't remember, back when we created our feed Aspen game, we had this food2 in our images file and our Aspen here. So we're going to use these. And let's see, what else? Velocity 1 and 5, that's fine. Let's maybe move this down to 2, make the food move a little bit slower just while we're playing around with this. And let's see, that looks good. Now let's come down here. Instead of calling this Aspen group, let's just call this food group. And then this will be a food, and this will be food. And let's change this to like 100. Let's create 8 of these instead of 5, right? And so, all right, food, and we want to pass in food. And then when we come down here and print this out, let's change this to the food group and the food group, and that should be fine. So the exact same thing we did in the last video, it's just we're going to start out with food falling from the sky instead of Aspen. So let's go ahead and save this, and let's head over to our terminal and run this just to make sure that worked real quick, because we did that very quickly. And then my C games directory, my virtual environment's turned on. Let's run Python Aspen_collide. And okay, that looks good. We got food, it's moving down. Okay, maybe we'll change this to 3. I don't know, whatever. So that's good. Now we want to create an Aspen character and put her at the bottom of the screen, and then have her colliding with the food when we move her around, and keeping track of that. How do we do that? So let's come down here and let's change this to food. Let's just copy our whole class here, and I'm going to come over here and paste this in, and let's call this Aspen. So again, we need to change this to Aspen. And instead of food, this is aspen2.png, because again, that's what we've got in our images. You can get these images from my GitHub or just use any images you want, really doesn't matter. And let's see, the velocity of Aspen as we move her around, we don't want it to be random. Let's just set that to 5. That looks good. And when Aspen moves, we'll just pass for now. We'll change that in a bit. Okay, so that looks good. Now let's come down here and actually create our Aspen. So in the last video, to create all of our food, or all of our Aspens in that video, we created a sprite group. And we have to create a sprite group now, even though there's only going to be 1 Aspen. It's weird to have a group of 1, but that's how Pygame works. That's how the collision stuff works. That's how everything works. So let's just come here and call, let me change this to food. There we go. And let's say create Aspen group. So I'm going to call this Aspen_group. And this is going to be a Pygame.sprite.group, just as before. Now we have to do all of this stuff, but we're not creating many Aspens, so we don't need a loop. Instead, let's say create and position Aspen. So let's go Aspen equals, and this is an Aspen instance. We want to pass XY coordinates, right? 200 by 400, and that's good for now. Now we also want to add Aspen to the group, right? So let's go Aspen_group.add. And what do we want to add? We want to add Aspen. So, okay, that looks good. Now let's come down here and draw Aspen to the screen. Let's say draw and move food and Aspen. So here, let's go Aspen_group.update, which we haven't done yet, but we can also go Aspen_group.draw. And where do we want to draw this? Onto our screen. which is just the screen guy here, or way up here at the top when we define the screen of height and width of 800 by 500. So, okay, let's go ahead and save this and run it just to make sure that kind of worked. Let's come over here and run Python Aspen underscore collide.py. And when we do, we see Aspen down here. The food is moving. That looks good. Nothing's going to happen when this food passes. You'll see it doesn't disappear. It just sort of passes behind Aspen. And we can't actually move Aspen yet. But, okay, she's on the screen. Things are looking good here. So what do we want to do next? Let's actually move Aspen. And we learned how to move things with our keyboard way back at the beginning of this playlist. Go watch those videos if you're not familiar. We're going to basically be doing the same thing. There's just slightly different because we're inside of a class. So it's going to be self.everything instead of just, the way it was before. But in our update function, let's create a couple new functions. Let's go self.move and let's go self.check underscore collisions. And we'll do this one in a bit, but I just want to define it for now. But for now, let's go define, and we want to define these two functions. And the other one is define check collisions. We want to pass in self as always, and let's just pass for now. So, okay, how do we actually move Aspen? Well, we remember way back when we have to get our keys on our keyboards, see which ones have been pressed, right? So let's go keys.pygame.key.get underscore pressed. We remember how to do that. And then we just decide which keys we want to check to see if they were pressed. And we want to use our arrow keys, our up, down, left, and right keys. So we just go if keys, and inside of here we pass pygame.k underscore, let's start with left, let's say. And if the left key is pressed, then we want to move our rect. Remember, we've got our rects up here. So we just go self.rect.x, because we want to move left and right, that's the x coordinate. And so let's just go minus equals our self.velocity. And that is this guy, so we're going to move it at the speed of 5, right? So, okay, that's for left. For right, let's go if keys. And you guessed it, it's pygame.k underscore right. Right? And let's just go self.rect.x. And this is going to be plus equals self.velocity. Right? So that's up and down. Now left and right, let's go if keys. Pygame.k underscore, let's start with up, let's say. Doesn't really matter. And again, that's going to be self.rect. Now this is going to be y, because y is up and down, right? And this will be minus equals self.velocity. And then finally, let's go if keys. And let's go pygame.k underscore down. And of course, this is going to be self.rect.y plus equals self.velocity. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this and run it, make sure that worked. I did that pretty quick and, me and typos. So here we can go over, down, up, down, left, right, A, B, start. Right? Okay, so that seems to work. All right, that was easy, but now how do we deal with collisions? And collisions in Pygame with sprites is actually pretty easy. We just call, let's see, in our check collisions function here, our method, let's go if pygame.sprite collide. And this sprite collide function takes 3 arguments, right? First, who's your guy? Who's your character? Who's the guy that you're moving around that you're checking if that person is bumping into things? Well, that's our Aspen, right? But we're in the Aspen class. So when you're in the Aspen class, how do you reference yourself? Well, we already know that. We reference just self, right? So that's easy. Now, what do we want to bump into? Well, we want to bump into anything in the food group. And when we bump into those things, do we want the food to disappear? Do we want it to be destroyed or not? Well, I do want it to be disappeared. So that's true. Okay, so now what do we want happen when these things disappear? Well, for now, this video is getting a little long. Let's just print out to the screen the length of our food group, how many items are in it. So every time we hit one, it will delete an item from there. And then, if it was 8 and we hit one, it'll turn to 7, then 6, then 5, etc. Let's just print this to the terminal because that's easiest. So let's grab the length of our food underscore group. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this, run it. Let me clear this screen and see what we got here. So here we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 of them. One of them got away. When we close this, you can see it started at 8. Then we got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. It ended with 1 because one of them got away. And okay, now in real life, you would want to do something else besides print to the screen the number, right? But like I said, this video is getting a little long, and we might probably want to have Aspen bark when she hits a piece of food or something. Maybe we'll do that later. We looked at playing sounds several videos ago, so you can probably figure that out. But okay, that's looking good. Now, one thing that's kind of weird, we're passing in this food group, and the food group exists outside of both the Aspen class and the food class, right? The food group is right here, right? So you could do it like this, but this is object-oriented coding, so we want to kind of make this self dot. And same thing here, we want self dot. But in order for the food group to be a part of self, it has to be in our Aspen class, and it isn't right now. So what we need to do here is add food group to Aspen class. And we can do that here just by calling self dot food underscore group and setting that equal to our food underscore group. But in order to access our food underscore group, we got to pass it up here when we initialize this class, right? So we're passing an X coordinate, a Y coordinate. We also want to pass the food group coordinate, not coordinate. We just want to pass the food group, right? So to do that, when we initialize our Aspen class way down here, right here, we're passing in our coordinates, our X and our Y. But now we need to pass in our food group. Right. Now make sure that this bit of code is underneath this bit of code, because this is where we define our food group. So if this code was above here, and let's get rid of all this stuff. So for instance, if this was instead up here, right, this wouldn't work because it would be calling food group, and food group hasn't been defined yet. It's defined down here. So make sure this is underneath that, and that should be fine. So, all right, let's go ahead and save this, run it just to make sure we didn't mess anything up there. Went through that pretty quickly. And okay, that looks good. Okay, so very easy to both move our sprite in a class, right? In our class-based object-oriented programming, and very easy to check for collisions. Again, this is a part of our sprite that we're passing in when we create our food, right? We're inheriting all of the sprite stuff, and the sprite library function, whatever, has this sprite collide function that takes care of all this stuff. All you have to do is pass the thing that you are, the thing you're trying to collide in, and whether or not you want it to disappear when they collide. And that's kind of all there is to it. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube50 to get 50% off lifetime membership. So that's access to all my courses, over 60 courses, thousands of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 180,000 students learn to code just like you. My name is John Alder from Codemy.com, and I'll see you in the next video.